Always ready to lend her voice, Camille Taylor is a long-standing McLean County human rights activist, educator, and advocate for justice. Born in Chicago to Leroy and Alma Glenn Edgerton, Camille spent her early childhood in Gary, Indiana. Her father was a professional dancer, one half of the Nip and Tuck duo with Walter Nip Jones, and operated a dance studio in Gary. When Camille was in second grade, the family returned to Chicago and shared an apartment in a two-flat building owned by her paternal grandparents. It was at St. Anselm's Catholic School that Camille met a classmate named Art Taylor, who would later become her life partner. A strong student, Camille also worked from an early age, selling concessions at her father's studio, which was in the basement of her grandparents' building, and, by her own admission, lying about her age to secure jobs at Sears and the Chicago Public Library. When Camille was in sixth grade, her father left the family. Her mother, Alma, later remarried George Samuels, a Chicago sanitation worker, in 1978. Determined to become a teacher, Camille enrolled at Illinois State University. After she and Art had stopped dating, she married James Mason at age 18. When her husband joined the U.S. Navy, Camille and her son, Christopher Mason, moved to Hawaii, where he was stationed at Pearl Harbor. There, Camille experienced poverty firsthand. Base cooks discreetly helped her husband bring food home under his basketball clothes, and their apartment was painted battleship gray with surplus paint he snuck off the base. In Hawaii, she also witnessed the stark inequity faced by Native Hawaiians, many living in thatched shacks far from the luxury resorts lining the beaches. Returning to ISU in 1975 and living in Cardinal Court, Camille found her voice as an advocate. Her son attended child care at Turner Hall, and when she was asked to serve on the ISU Child Care Advisory Board, she spoke out against a proposed fee increase that would burden low-income students. Seeing that her voice mattered taught her that you need to be at the table where decisions are made. She graduated in 1978 with a degree in special education and the Dr. Martin Luther King's Memorial Academic Achievement Award. Prior to graduation, Camille completed her coursework in March of 1978 and was hired by Bloomington District 87 as a teacher for students with behavioral disorders. In the fall, she joined Unit 5 School District, where she would remain for 34 years. For the majority of her career, she was a special education teacher, care specialist, and positive life skills teacher. She also spent 12 years of her career as a counselor. It was after an 8th grade special education student committed suicide when Camille decided to go back to school for her counseling degree. She completed a master's degree in school counseling at ISU and earned certification as an English as a second language instructor. When she joined Normal Community High School in 2000, she was the only black counselor in the district. From classroom teacher to counselor, Camille became a steady and compassionate presence for generations of students. In most years, she was the only black teacher in her school or one of a handful in Unit 5. "I always wanted to make a connection with all students," she said. While she was a counselor, she attended many graduation open houses. She realized she'd made a connection when she saw the handwritten notes she'd given the students in 4th grade up on their display boards. Camille developed district-wide diversity awareness programs for staff and students and sponsored numerous student organizations, including Tomorrow's Teacher, Students Embracing Diversity, and the Gay Straight Alliance. She also taught courses at Illinois State University in both the special education and curriculum and instruction departments. Camille's civic engagement extends far beyond the classroom. She is currently on the board of directors of the YWCA of McLean County, serves the League of Women Voters, and is co-chair of Not in Our Town, Not in Our School. She has served in the past with the Baby Fold, the Governor's Commission on Discrimination and Hate Crimes, the State Teacher Certification Board, and the National Council for Accreditation of Teacher Education. She is an elder and a Reach Out Committee chair at her church, First Christian. Camille is currently the co-chair of the Documentation Project, which is tracking and reporting the impact of federal budget cuts on McLean County. In 1991, Camille was divorced. She and Art renewed their friendship, marrying in 1994 and becoming a powerful partnership in community activism and leadership. Camille's many honors reflect the breadth of her impact. They include the YWCA Woman of Distinction Award for Education in 2001, the Bloomington Human Relations Award in 2008, Illinois State University's College of Education Distinguished Alumni Award, Steve and Sandy Adams Legacy Hall of Fame recognition, the McLean County Diversity Project's Bill Mahay Award, the Illinois Education Association's Human and Civil Rights Award, and Minority Educator of the Year, the National Education Association's Council Trenholm Award in 2004, the NAACP Freedom Fighter Award in 2025, the Illinois State Board of Education's Those Who Excel Award, the First Christian Church Honored Servant Award, and together with Art, the Illinois Prairie Community Foundation's Philanthropist of the Year Award in 2020. Ever the servant leader, Camille stated that, "Getting awards to me doesn't change my life or what I want to do. I'm still going to do what I'm going to do anyway." Camille is the mother of Christopher Mason and stepmother to Stephanie Jackson, married to Jeremy, and Kimberly Stewart, married to Rich. She is grandmother to Anadai, Ariel, Jeremy, Elisa, Jace, Leah, Jeremiah, and Daniel. Camille has two sisters, Michelle and Carmelita. Camille's lodestar remains her late mother, Alma, whose guiding words still shape her life. Treat people the way you want to be treated, you can get through life, and you will be a good person.
My advice for the next generation of history makers is to first of all realize that every day they live, they're making history. So while you're living, find where your heart is, your passions are. Home is where the heart is. And your home away from home can be something where you choose to do good and make a difference. So find that and you'll always be happy.
Congratulations to 2026 history maker Camille Taylor. Art Taylor is a college basketball scholar who never played a game, a student activist once arrested and released, and a steady voice for fairness and thoughtful listening in McLean County. Art Taylor was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. He was the oldest of 5 children born to Arthur Jr. and Helen Hurst Taylor. One of his earliest memories dates to 2nd grade at St. Anselm's Catholic School, when a new student, a little girl in tears on her first day, sat in his classroom. He could not have known then that she would later become his high school sweetheart, his wife, and his lifelong best friend, Camille. From his father, a Chicago police officer, Art learned the importance of discipline and integrity, of walking the straight and narrow. Another formative influence was his grandfather, a former Pullman porter who understood the power of organized labor and civil rights leadership. Through him, Art learned about A. Philip Randolph and even met Hall of Fame pitcher Satchel Paige, encounters that quietly connected sports, history, and social justice in his young mind. When Art's father left the police force and several other managerial positions in Chicago, he became a manager at the Quaker Oats Company in 1970. This was at a time when black people were beginning to get some managerial positions in corporate America, and the family relocated to Jackson, Tennessee, where Art completed his senior year of high school. Moving into a newly developed suburb, the family experienced the contradictions of the era firsthand. There were petitions to keep his family out of the neighborhood. But they persevered through that. We would get people driving past our house, both white and black families, Art recalled, and black families would come to the door, wanting to welcome us to the city of Jackson. Another profound influence was his favorite aunt, Anne, who in the 1960s took the name Okolo Iwunike. She exposed Art and his brother not only to concerts, recitals, and cultural events, but also to activism. As a Roosevelt University student, she once dropped the boys off from her Volkswagen on the corner of Michigan Avenue amid a student protest. "I want you to pick up a sign and get in line with these people that are walking and marching around. I want you to just say what they say and do what they do until I get back," she told them. 12-year-old Art remembers thinking, "That sounds like fun." She had a huge influence on me. Lambeth College in Jackson, Tennessee offered Art a basketball scholarship, so he remained in Tennessee when his family returned to Illinois, where his father continued as a manager at the Quaker Oats plant in Danville. After injuring his ankle, Art was unable to play, but the college honored his scholarship. Instead, he became the team's stat man, publicist, van driver, and all-around assistant, immersing himself in the game he loved in a different way. First as a leader in the Black Student Union and later elected student body president, Art gained leadership experience as an activist while a student at Lambeth College. Art had his first major civil rights confrontation in 1973. A history professor who'd been at the college since the 1930s was using a textbook that promoted the Civil War lost cause narrative, praising the Confederacy. Art and the college's small cohort of 35 black students went to the president's office in protest. When the president slipped out a window to avoid them, the students staged a sit-in and were arrested. At the local jail, they demanded their one phone call. The sheriff noticed that many of them had contact numbers for national media outlets, and the students were promptly released. The textbook was removed from the curriculum, though it remained available in the library. At graduation in 1976, Art received the college's Outstanding Student Service Award. The moment, however, was marred when that same president grasped Art's arm and praised him as the first member of his race to receive this award, recognizing him not for leadership or achievement, but for his race. After earning a degree in political science, Art set his sights on law school and moved to Memphis. Needing work, he walked into a Sears store and overheard a manager congratulating an employee on a promotion. When the receptionist asked if she could help him, Art replied, "I want his job," and he got a job in the hardware department right on the spot. That confidence launched a career of more than 2 decades in sales management with Sears, Target, and Circuit City. In 1991, as both were going through divorces, Art and Camille reconnected. They married 3 years later in 1994, when Art continued his retail career until he joined State Farm in 1999 as a claim representative. His retail experience made him adept at calming frustrated customers, and he steadily rose through the company. Later, as a senior business analyst, State Farm drew on Art's insight and leadership to help develop its internal diversity, equity, and inclusion training program, which reached thousands of employees nationwide. He retired in 2017 after 18 years with the company. Art's calm, principled voice also led to broader community service. When the city of Bloomington established its 7-member Public Safety and Community Review Board in 2017 to provide oversight of police activity, Art was appointed its first chair. He is an elder at First Christian Church in Bloomington and active in Not in Our Town, Bloomington Normal. In 2020, Art and Camille were honored by the Illinois Community Prairie Foundation as Philanthropists of the Year. Art is the father of 2 daughters, Stephanie Jackson, married to Jeremy with children Jeremy Jr. and Leia, and Kimberly Stewart, married to Rich, with children Jace, Jeremiah, and Daniel, and stepfather to Camille's son, Christopher Mason, and his children, Anadai, Ariel, and Elisa. Art has 3 living siblings, Stephen, Paula Whitfield, and Jeffrey. Billie Jean and Bruce are deceased. Art's advice to the next generation reflects a lifetime of lived service.
I would advise the next generation of history makers to always be present. You are gifted by God with a voice, so that when you are at the table, it's up to you to use your voice. You cannot be heard unless you use it. And each one of us was not born with fear. So be fearless. Always speak up and to use the voice that you were given for good.
Congratulations to 2026 history maker Art Taylor.